Hi, you guys. Welcome back. It's Sunday, and like I promised, I was going to try to stop in every Sunday if I can and just make a video, not too long, but just to pop in and say hi to you guys. And today I was just thinking about, um, what kind of video can I make? What can we talk about? And maybe we'll just talk and I'll let you know a little bit about me because even people who know me don't really know about me. So hopefully you'll still like me after this. But anyway, yeah, just get to know me and I know sometimes I'm a lot. Some people think that, but I'm not. I'm really just introverted and shy, but when I go on social media, I always say it's a part I play. It's a role I play, a character I play, and I'm a writer. So that's kind of what we do. But I've always been into the fashion thing, and I guess I've always liked attention since I was little. My mother said I used to buy a dress, and she would buy me a dress when I was like 2 or 3, and I would go and to the living room and spin around and tell people to look at my dress. I don't know. I just always liked fashion, I guess. I think you're born who you're going to be and not necessarily like some of the things that other people talk about, but I mean like the likes. You like fashion, music, you're musically inclined. I've been writing since I was probably, gosh, I don't know, kindergarten. I remember my first poems, and I still have those scribble scrabbles and they were amazing to me. But um I've just always been who I am today. But I'm 57 and I'm married. I am a writer, like I said, poetry. I have published novels. I wrote my memoir, and it was published in 2023. I shouldn't say memoir, but it was kind of like a testimony from cancer because I had breast cancer. So it'll be 7 years survival this July. So really grateful for that. But yeah, it'll be 7 years survival, and that book made the bestsellers. So I'm really proud of that. And that means that a lot of people they read it and they enjoyed it, and I got really good feedback that it was helpful, and that's why I wrote it because it's really scary when you have any kind of cancer and people will say, you don't look like you have cancer. Oh, you look pretty. You don't look like you have. I'm like, cancer looks just like me. Don't put us in a box. Cancer looked like me and you and a little boy down the street doesn't have a particular face. So that's why I wrote that book, and I'm really happy that it was well received. So I also have novels, the Mulholland Diaries. They're kind of like they're fiction. They're tattletale fiction is what I call them, inspired by just experiences that I've had, but they're fun, um, fun books. Really strong women who have very privileged lives, but sad at the same time. So, I wrote those, and I'm glad the Hollywood Girl was the follow up to the Mulholland Diaries. So, I'm really glad that I wrote those. Um, I'm sitting in my closet right here. I've had this closet since we built our house in 2005. So I didn't jump on I got to have a closet, my own closet in my house. I've always wanted this. Since I was in middle school, I wanted a room that was a closet. I don't know why. I don't know where. I think it's those Town and Country magazines I was reading, or I don't know, but I just really, I've always liked pretty and glamorous things, and I'm a homebody, so if I'm at home, I just like to have my little space. And so it's just stuff that's not important, but it's fun. It's fun for me, and I like to dress up and um, do makeup and the jewelry, even if I don't have anywhere to go. I work from home all the time, and so I still get dressed, and I'll put on earrings and for me. I do it for me, and you should always do things like that for yourself, not to show off for other people. Um, Gosh, what else? I'm married. Like I said, it'll be 22 years in June, and love of my life. I'm just so grateful to have him. We are best friends, and we worship God together. Yeah, my husband doesn't do the social media thing, and so I'm not even going to say his name because it's just not. That's our life, and he's just not into it. But I refer to him as my hubsy, so you'll hear me say that in videos going forward. So yeah, that's my baby. But yeah, I've always been this person. I think people should be allowed to be themselves and do what you like to do, as long as you're not hurting God, you're not hurting other people, and it makes you happy. It doesn't matter your music, um, fashion, social media, just don't cross the lines that start venturing off into negativity, because that's what makes people want to back away from social media and just relationships in general, because I just can't do it. After I had cancer, I'm like, you know what? I made it through that. I don't have time for negativity. And I will cut people off and not talk to them. And I know that's not good, but you have to protect your own mental health and just who you are. Stay sane. And so I don't have any apologies for that. So I hope that's not wrong, and I hope I'm forgiven if it is. But yeah, so that's who I am, guys. It's just me, Lavette. Same girl I was when I was like 2 and 3, and now I'm 57. I can't believe that. Um, I'm Generation Xer, high school in the 80s, middle school and high school in the 80s, and I'm so happy because I just think that 80s kids are just, I don't know, we're built different, and it was just the best era, music wise. I like everything. Um from I had a little red radio by my bed when I was a little girl, and my mother can tell you this. I had a little red radio, and it was an AM radio, and when I was going to bed and I should have been asleep, I would just turn the channels and just listen to music. Because I come from a really musical family, and everybody liked all kinds of music. And so I would turn the channels, and I would love like the R&B. Um, then I discovered like, oh, I like this. It was classical. And then, I hear the rock, and that's how I discovered like Queen and the Doors. I literally one day heard a voice on the radio, and I really liked his voice. It was so cool and kind of haunting and different. And then I went to school, and I was a little older than, I guess grade school, maybe middle. And I went to the library, and they said, that's Jim Morrison. The Doors. Like, he had been long dead, but I saw his picture and I was like, oh, he's beautiful. But his voice, and then he was a poet as well. So that was another thing that made me like him. Um, the Jacksons, of course, just of course. Um, Mariah Carey is my favorite female vocalist. Michael is just my overall favorite entertainer. I think he's probably on the top of everybody's list. I'm a little biased about that. Nobody's gonna ever take his spot. But yeah, so um, that's just who I am, and I'll come on here and just chit chat if I have things on my mind, or you guys have questions for me. Just feel free to do that. I have on like this fun T-shirt. It's really fun. It just has like just some rhinestones. That's just how I am. My brother loves stuff like this too. We've always been like, we like sparkles, and I don't know. We just, my family is just really extra. My cousin Sharon used to always say, like, we're so extra. And she said, I love this family because we do the most, and we do. And so that's another thing. I just love my family. And I'm really blessed to have a really special family. And I know everybody should say that, but I think it's just the truth when it comes to my family. But anyway, you guys have a good evening, and just, be safe out there. And wow, I have that dimple. I look in there, it's like I have that dimple. I've had that expression since I was a kid. My friend Elaine used to make fun of me and say, "You got that dimple on your forehead." But that's just me. But and I got on some sparkly eyeshadow today. It's a it's an old palette, and I never really used it, but um the Too Faced. I hope it's not coming off like reverse. I think it might be, but um yeah, it's a pretty rich palette. It's so fun. And it's kind of old, but I really never used it. So as far as I'm concerned, it's not old because I just get stuff sometimes. I don't even use it. But my one of my best, I call her my sister, Marcy. She passed away suddenly. We were just like twinsies. And she sent me this palette like maybe a year or so before she passed away. So I don't want to mess it up because I'm not always have it. So yeah. So, you know, before I start crying about that, and I know I'll see her again. So, that was my girl and I miss her. But yeah. You guys have a good evening, and we'll see you next time. And again, Roxy's here. You want to say hi, Roxy? Say hi, Roxy. 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 Hey, baby. All right, guys. Well, have a good day, evening, morning, wherever you are. All love, be safe, and love each other, and be positive. Okay, things are gonna get so much better. This world's kind of rough right now, but things are gonna get better. I promise. There's a promise, and it's gonna happen. Okay, love you. Take care.